During this Vigilance Awareness Week, I have a special appeal to every one of you. This is the COVID-19 pandemic time, very difficult times, and we have to take all precautions till such time a solution is found out in the form of a vaccine. Every one of you, I make a special appeal. Please wear your mask, wash your hands with soap, and maintain the social distancing. This must come as a self-disciplined activity, like corruption, of course, like honesty. It should be a self-imposed discipline. It's not like the people who wear the helmet when there is a police presence, when there is a policeman. They should wear on their own. We are not doing it for other people. We are doing for our own benefit. Therefore, once again, I make a special appeal: wear the mask, wash your hands with soap, maintain social distancing. Let us all fight this COVID pandemic together. Hi, I'm extremely delighted to connect with the officers and staff of the Bank of India, Chennai Zone. Can you call Chennai Zone? Chennai Zone. So it's a great honor to share some ideas about Vigilance Awareness Week and Vigilance Awareness celebrations. The Central Vigilance Commission has a mandate that all of us during this period create awareness about integrity, honesty, accountability, and transparency. This year's theme, of course, the Vigilant India and Prosperous India. So it's a good idea because a vigilant country alone can become prosperous. Many years ago, Confucius said that the strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. That is, integrity starts from home. So this kind of awareness about integrity should be universal, ubiquitous. It should be there everywhere. If in an office there is corruption, that means that in the houses there is corruption. So honesty must start from the home. That was the idea. So I will certainly be a small part of, I'll be happy to be a small part of creating the awareness. Therefore, I like to thank the officers of Bank of India for giving this very special opportunity to me. There are about 198 sovereign countries in the world. And there is a way of measuring the integrity of the people, or the honest level of the people. The World Corruption Index, it is being assessed. In this assessment, India comes to somewhere around 79 or 80th place out of the 148 countries which are assessed in corruption. That means we are not in a good position, whereas countries like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, even Singapore, Hong Kong, they have a better standing than us. So the level of honesty is always a question. I visited places like Japan. In Japan, in the villages, people can harvest their produce. They keep it in front of their houses. And they go to work. They keep a weighing machine very close to the product, agricultural products, vegetables and fruits. And they have a list of items and their prices. People who are walking by the road, they come, they pick up the vegetables, fruits. There won't be anybody else. There is not even a camera. Keeping a camera is an insult to the people of Japan. So people pick up the vegetables, fruits, they know the price, they pay the money in a box kept in that place. So you can imagine if any place anywhere in India somebody cultivates his products, agricultural products, keep it in front of the house and goes to work to Bank of India. And in the evening he comes back, probably what will be the situation? I'm a policeman and I was come across, even farmers, distress. Farmers may suffer because of drought or cyclone, but some farmers suffer because of theft of agricultural products. Day before the harvest, their whole banana bunch have been stolen, and he is left with nothing. This happens all over India. So integrity is not simply honesty. Integrity is the whole. A person's integrity doesn't simply mean a man is accepting a bribe or not. Integrity is a much larger term. For example, a man may not accept bribe, but he'll be highly discriminatory against some particular group of people. There are men who are discriminatory against women. That's not integrity. There are people who will only do favor to their own people, their own people from their native place, their state, their language, their culture, their religion. So therefore, integrity is a much, much larger term. So we'll strive, every one of us should attempt to try or train ourselves to be a person of great integrity. I know a case, some people claim them to be honest, okay. So there was one incident, it's a humor rather, in which a automobile company started a manufacturing unit. So the greatest officer in that particular area, they met him and they offered him a new car, say a Mercedes car. You know, one of the manufactured car they'll give him free if he gives a license. He said, okay, what do you think about me? I'm an honest person. I will not accept anything free. That is corruption. But then they know about this man. They said, sir, we are not going to give it free. We will give you a concession. Okay, in that case, I will accept the car. What is the price? The original price is 40 lakhs, but we will give it to you for 2 lakhs rupees. Okay, nice. In that case, I will have 10 more cars. Okay, so this is integrity. It is internal. It's in the makeup of the person. So we want a culture. Now, let's not talk about which department is corrupt, which is not corrupt. The problem is some people can claim to be honest, but then they are not in a position to, really indulge in any corrupt practices. Suppose a postman says, I am a honest person, or a primary school teacher says, I am a honest person. No, it doesn't really have meaning. Whereas a customs officer says, I am a honest person. Yes, there's a meaning because there's plenty of opportunities. Only when there is an opportunity, we know the real integrity of the person. So, for a prosperous country, as the theme of this year's vigilance awareness, everybody has to be honest. Not necessarily the people in the government, general public. Because as Confucius told, integrity or honesty starts from home. And sometimes we think that we are very honest, or we have a great culture of very honest culture in the past. But it is all it is very difficult to really believe such great claims. If you read the history or the books which are available with us, whether people earlier were so honest, there is generally a talk that of late we are dishonest, earlier we have been so honest. But it is not so. When you go to the literature of 1,000 years or 2,000 years, they are always talking about honesty. Even Thiruvalluvar, many places, they are emphasizing why we have to be honest. That means there are a lot of dishonest people at that point in time. So in the history of mankind, not only in India, everywhere in the world, there is dishonesty. If you see the Indian history, recent Indian history, when the British people came, one of the men who is remembered in the British history is called Robert Clive. When Robert Clive came to Madurai, suddenly his horses were missing. So somebody stole the horse. Then he made an inquiry. They said, okay, no problem. There are people who can find it out. Really? They'll find it out? Yes, sir. They'll find out your horses. And you must pay them some kind of a investigation charges. In Tamil, it's called Thuppukuli. Okay, there is a system like that. Some people will steal and somebody will go and find out the horse. Okay, he said, agreed, okay, no problem, you go and find out my horse. Within few hours, the horse has come back. And what he did, instead of paying them the investigation charges, he hanged all of them in a nearby tamarind tree. So there is a recorded history of Madurai about this incident. So dishonest people were very much there. When the Europeans came here, in the North Indian areas, there was a group of people called thugs. Thugs, they are thieves. Not only thieves, they will befriend the people who are going for long kind of spiritual journeys like Kasi or to Rameshwaram. They join them, and in a particular place, many of them will assemble, they will kill entire family members. They bury them. And there are such thugs who have killed something like even 1,000 people single-handedly. So there is an Englishman, I think his name is George Sleeman. He came to India. He was a military officer. Then he was given a police posting. He took it as a challenge and he arrested something like 3,000 such people. And he got the death sentence to about 1,600. He shot dead more than 1,600 such thugs. Dishonesty of the very high order, killing people and stealing their property. It's very common, not only in North India, all over India, there are such atrocities, dishonesty, thieving, killing people, cheating people, subjugating people, exploiting people. This is there all over the world. Only now, slowly, everywhere in the world, people are more cultured, more educated. we know that somebody else's property we should not have, we should not be dishonest, we should not collect money from the other people. But still, this dishonesty and corrupt practices still are lingering upon. I myself is a victim. When I joined service, somebody said, "Sir, please join a scheme in the State Bank of India. It's some kind of a saving scheme, so you don't have to pay much income tax." And later, when my investment of 10,000 rupees, that time my salary itself was 2,000 rupees. I was getting 3,400 rupees as an officer in the Indian Overseas Bank. But in the police service, my salary was much less at the time. So 2,000 rupees salary. So I invested 10,000 rupees in that particular bond. I don't know, I forgot the name. And after 5 years, when I wanted this 20,000 rupees, they said it will double into 5 years. I didn't get any money. They said Harshad Mehta has stolen all of the money. Not only my money, millions of people all over India were cheated. Very genuine people are cheated by this man. It's a big scam. So there are such big scams going on in the whole world. In India, this part of the country, there are schemes called Ponzi scheme. Ponzi. People will promise you give 1 lakh rupee, next year we'll give you 2 lakhs rupees. You pay every month 25,000 rupees. In the end of 3 months or 1 year, we'll give the whole money back, and every year you will get this much money. All falsehood. Everything is false. Even today, information is coming various ways. Now that it is internet world, all our mobile phones are connected. We are all connected. Okay. If I record something, and this record, what I am doing it now about Vigilance Awareness Week, a honest India, a prosperous India, Vigilant India. Whatever I am saying, it can be heard or viewed by people all over the world because our mobile phones are connected. Our internets are connected. So in this world, it's very easy to cheat people. False information, fake news. And initially, they used to say, okay, your mobile phone is a lucky number. You got a lottery ticket in your name, and you are going to get 50 crores of rupees. A lot of people get cheated. In India itself, every year, something like 3,000 crores of rupees is cheated from the Indian citizens by international gangs, cheating gangs. So they'll say, you got a lottery ticket, so you give me 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees to send this money. So any man who can think about it, you must think about it. Is it possible for a man to give you 50 crores rupees just like that? Why? What is the need? So if it is messages to me, I tell them, please take this 50,000 rupees, what you are asking, and send the rest of the money to me. But they won't do it. And they'll say, okay, we are giving an offer of teacher job or some other job in our company, that you are looking for a job, you are a trained, a technician or a manager or a school teacher, or you are a chef, and we are going to give you a very nice job. And the man says, okay, give me the job, and in that process, people cheat. So there are various ways. Recently, you would have seen the police officers' Facebook accounts. Fake Facebook accounts are created in the name of police officers. And they say, okay, we are going to start a scheme, and you please donate 50,000 rupees for this scheme. Or that I am in distress, I am in serious problem, I want some money, give me some money. So sometimes people are misled, or they are credulous. People are credulous. They can be easily cheated. So this kind of cheating, dishonest practices are also going on in the internet, so we should be always aware. So as I told you earlier, the same man who came from England, who is also responsible for establishing British rule in India, Robert Clive, who has killed a few people for stealing his horses. Later, when he returned from India, he almost established British rule in India. The man who has come to Kadalur, and from there Kadalur he has been to North India. He is the governor of Madras, and almost the whole of India. And there in this native place, when he returned, people found him a very rich man. He's very rich. He left England only for a job in England, in Chennai. That time it is Madras. So some local man filed a complaint against this man, that Robert Clive, who established British rule in India, is a dishonest man. He has amassed wealth far excess of his sources of income. There is one clause in the anti-corruption law. If a man is possessing wealth disproportionate to the source of income, he is a corrupt person. He has amassed the wealth in a corrupt way only. So the court in England, see, for the European fellows, whatever is said and done, they won't spare anybody. If they find there is a substantial complaint, they investigate it and found out this Robert Clive has amassed wealth disproportionate to the source of income, and they convicted him. A man who has, came all the way, and in a country which is 100 times larger than their own country in population, made a British rule. Even then, the law courts, have convicted him of this offense, and he ultimately, out of disgrace, he took the same revolver which he was keeping when he was unemployed. When he was unemployed, he wanted to die. He bought a revolver. He put only one bullet. He rolled around the chamber and pressed the trigger, but that bullet was not in the chamber. So he survived. And he thought maybe God is having some good plan for me. I'll go to Madras and I will join the East India Company. So it is his history. Then the same revolver he took, he put on bullet, rolled it, fired. But this time the bullet was in that chamber. He died. That's the history of one of the most corrupt men in history. So corruption has been there all the time, earlier times also in all the countries. So only in few countries like Denmark, like Holland, Norway, Sweden, Singapore, very near country, Hong Kong, like that, some of the countries, they are to a large extent, they are able to control corruption to a large extent, and people are leading a honest life. In the social life, even in Japan, if you go, if I lose my mobile phone, if I forgot it in the train, it's more likely that somebody finds it and they try to find out who I am and they return. Otherwise, it will be in the clerk room in the railway station. To the large extent, level of honesty in a society is very, very critical. So some countries have achieved this greatness. How they are able to achieve? Why people are corrupt in some countries? Why there is rampant corruption in some countries? Because instead of simply saying there is corruption, it is not any use. So right-thinking people like the employees of the Bank of India, college students, engineering college students, they ask me, sir, there is corruption in the police department. Simply they accuse, you are corrupt. So there is no point in accusing people why you are corrupt or there is corruption, people are drinking. Simply, these are all truth, facts. But what if at all we are interested to create Vigilant India, to create an India where there is less corruption, we should try to find out the root cause of corruption. Why people are corrupt? So how can we really prevent corruption? In this context, I will say in the last few years, there are some hopes here and there. In India or in Tamil Nadu, there are some hopes. For example, recruitment to the Bank of India. How it is being done? It is done through a competitive examination. So you are today in Bank of India. I'm sure none of you have indulged in any corrupt practices to join this bank, right? I joined Indian Overseas Bank 35 years before. I have not paid any pie, not even a 1 rupee to anybody. I just applied. I went for the examination. I cleared the examination. I got the orders. I didn't meet anybody for my appointment as an officer in the Indian Overseas Bank. I have not paid 1 rupee for my appointment as an Indian police officer. Seriously. So these are all the hope that there is a good system in some places. Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, Union Public Service Commission, the Police Recruitment Board. Even today, if you want to book a ticket for the Indian Airlines or in any airlines or even the railways, you don't have to pay anything. So many hopes are there. Admission to engineering colleges, admission in medical colleges. These are all done purely on merit. Okay, so there are areas in which we have achieved substantial success in eliminating corrupt practices. Technology helps to a large extent. In Fire and Rescue Services Department, we are trying to introduce online application for licensing. So once that is in place, to a large extent, any possibility of corrupt practices can be eliminated. So technology will help to solve this problem of corruption. So coming back to the question of why, I don't know seriously why it is so. First of all, I must say that the honesty must start in the families. Japanese are honest for one single reason, that Japanese are so shy, they are so afraid that if they are accepting money bribe, their friends will hate them. They are so afraid that their brothers and sisters will start, start abusing them. They are so afraid because their mothers will come to know that my son is a corrupt person. That is not acceptable to a mother. So any mother, any father, they should always like their children to be honest. Even though they are poor, doesn't matter. My son is an honest person. They should always talk. They should not talk, my son has 3 houses, or he has a large television screen, and he has a very huge car. That is very, very critical. So corruption should come in the culture. So one of the reasons why corruption prevailing is probably the disparity the disparity between the rich and the poor. This is a big problem in the governments all the time. From time immemorial, even soon after the independence, they want to create an egalitarian society. Egalitarian. That means, the difference in wealth between people should be minimum. For example, in an office, there's an officer and there's a clerical staff, there's a peon, or their salary differences should not be too much. Okay, because after all, the need for eating is almost same. But that is not the case. But there are some countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway. There, even the college professor's salary will be almost same as the truck driver's salary in the same organization. So there's not much difference. Whereas if you see in the last many years, 30, 40, 50 years, there are reports that the wealth of the country, additional wealth, has gone to 70% of the additional wealth created in this country has gone to 1% of the people. That is, out of 100 people, 70% of the wealth is going to only one man or one family. Very few families, 43 families are owning more than wealth of the last 40% of our country, people in the country. So some people own a lot of wealth, some people are very little. Probably this is one of the reasons for corrupt practices. The very high aspirations of the people. Mahatma Gandhi said, we have everything for our needs, but we do not have anything for our greeds. People are so greedy. Okay, I want to send my son to this college. I want to send my son to the best institution in the country. If it is the best institution, maybe the yearly fees is about 20 lakhs rupees. A man who is drawing 20,000 rupees a month, how can he really send his daughter to a college with 20 lakhs rupees? So aspirations are genuine. Okay, I want my daughter to become a doctor, but my salary doesn't really permit. What will I do? So this man probably to educate his daughter. It's a good idea. Educating the daughter is a good idea. But corrupt practice is not that idea. Okay. So in this society, there are this existing difficulties. So even if I want to send my daughter to a good school, they are asking 100,000 rupees advance. Where the man will go? He wants to give the best. So these are the things we must really think why, and in due course probably there will be possibly changes in the structure of the society, in education. Today, this is pandemic times. COVID, if somebody is infected with the COVID and if he is taken to an hospital, if the government hospital there's no seat available, private hospital, 10 days, 7 lakhs rupees, 5 lakhs rupees, where the man will go? Should he die? So, these are the main reasons. But whatever be the reason, it can be the society's culture. The ultimate change must come from us, all of us, every one of us, rich or poor. Honesty should be given the top priority. People should really not encourage dishonest people. Honest people, even though if they are poor, when they are simple, they should be given more importance in all walks of public life. So very slowly, with this kind of a culture in which honest people are honored, revered, respected, and they are even given prominence, probably a new culture will emerge in which all of us can benefit from the integrity culture. So on our part, what we should do? We should not give any bribe. We should not take any bribe. Corrupt practices taking in and around this place, we should do the whistleblowing responsibility. So if somebody is really dishonest, it should be brought to the notice of the concerned people. So this kind of, there's a lot of people who still do that actually. That's how the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Department is able to catch hold of people who are dishonest. There'll be a lot of information coming up from their own friends, from their employees. So this is my last point of discussion is that, as I told you, there are glimmer of hope in various departments trying to make a transparent, accountable, honest system of transaction of business. It's happening in many places. Many young people are very angry. They're very angry against corrupt people. More particularly, college students today, boys and girls, school students, they want a corrupt-free India. They are asking questions. Why there is corruption? Who is responsible for this corruption? How can I solve the problem of corruption? How can I create a country with so much importance for integrity? accountability, responsibility, and transparency. So this is the great hope on which we can build. So our children themselves, we should really infuse a culture of honesty, integrity, accountability, and transparency. And we should be an example to our own children in leading a honest life. So maybe with this kind of a spirit of honesty, very gradually we will move towards the great awareness India, or and a prosperous India, because prosperity comes from integrity-based society. Thank you very much, and once again, I'd like to thank all the officers and staff and management of Bank of India Chennai zone. I'd love to see you sometimes later in some occasions. Thank you very much.